Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode. So in this episode I would like to show you the Kodak Ektralite 10, which is basically the entry model, okay? And this is from the 1970s. So here we have the flash element, okay? And one thing about the flash element you need to know is that these yellow very badly over time. So what happens is when your flash hits your subject, it's going to be a very yellowish flash, right? Your subject, your person. Instead of at like 5500 daylight balance, it's going to be at about 3500. So you're going to have to really correct for that in post if you when you use these older Kodaks, because they yellow. The Minoltas don't. They stay a beautiful clear, so that your flash remains at 5500. But again, you'll just have to do some post. Okay, to activate the camera, you just pull this, to the side, and then you have your viewfinder here, and then your lens. This is I believe this is a plastic lens, so it's the image quality. You'll see here, I'm going to roll in the images at the end of the video, and the images have really suffered quite a bit because of the patina over the years. It's been what, 40 some years now, maybe 45 years, 40 years, and this plastic lens has really patinaed, and therefore it's the images have suffered. But again, it's just for the funk and vibe. It's more than enough. It's good. So here we have the top of the camera. This is the shutter release, and then the name, of course, made in USA. When's the last time you saw that, huh? The flash, right? To enable and disable the flash. Bottom of the camera is that's how you cock the shutter and advance your film, of course, right? So then this enables the flash, and then you can hear the click. Let me fire the shutter. There you go, and there's your shutter. Okay, let's see, what else did we? It's very simple. I mean, there's the batteries. The batteries are 2 AA batteries. Again, and this is another thing you have to be careful. Some of the older Kodaks, they take the K battery. K is in king. This doesn't. This is AA. So these are readily available in any supermarket, right, or drugstore and so forth. So you want to do your research and make sure that you don't choose a camera that requires a K battery, because you're going to be stuck if they don't make it anymore. So here's the viewfinder, the rear part where you look through. This is the person. This came with a sheet of stickers, and the person would peel off 3 initials, right, first, middle, last. And that's what I like about this. This is so cool. The vibe. Whoever had this, the original owner of the camera, his or her initials were SNH, and yet they're still here on the camera all these years later. So the film door, you just push this down. The hinge is at the bottom, of course. Okay, and then you take, this is an empty cartridge because I developed my film here at home, so there's no film in it. You can see there's no film or backing paper. I'm just using this as a demonstrator, basically. So you just take the film, drop it in, close the door. It's that easy. And then you start advancing. You start advancing until the little number, there's a little number here, and it'll have arrows. It'll have arrows at first telling you, that's instructing you to advance the film, and then you'll see a number 1, numeral 1 will appear in the window. Then it'll stop. It'll automatically stop. You can't advance this anymore until you fire the shutter. Then you'll advance it again, and then it'll read number 2, click, 3, click, so forth and so on. Okay, so they made these very user friendly. So again, my final thoughts on the camera. I don't recommend this camera, and I'll tell you why. When these were new, there was probably a substantial price difference between this, the 10, the entry model, and the upper end models like the Kodak Ektralite 500 and 600, right? But that had the upscale. Those had the upscale Schneider Kreuznach Realmar 26mm lenses, and they were glass, and they were very high quality. That's the same manufacturer that made lenses along with Zeiss for the Rolleiflex camera out of Germany. So my point is, when they were new, there was probably a substantial price difference. All these years later, there's very little price difference between this 10 and the Model 500 or 600 with the beautiful Schneider Kreuznach glass element. So I would definitely don't get the 10, because again, this element is yellowed. it's an inferior quality lens. I would just go with the 500, 600, and the difference is probably between 10. This is probably like 10, and then your upscale cameras are going to be 20 on the used market. So honestly, in the grand scheme of things, what's $10 when it's like a huge increase in quality? So instead of paying $10 for this, just pay the $20 or $25 for the Ektralite 500 or 600. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll in the images now, and I thank you for watching.